And good morning and welcome to the video live stream edition of the WSJM Morning Show for Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. My special guest is, microphone is good. See, you do that like a pro, like you know what you're doing.
I'm guessing. This is all guessing.
Nick Schirripa is here. He is, you're going to correct me on the title, Communications Representative with Michigan Department of Transportation for the Southwest Michigan region.
I don't need to correct anything.
Is that right?
That's out of the park. Nailed it.
What does that mean? What is that?
I talk for a living.
You same here.
Right. So my job essentially is to translate what a few hundred engineers say into plain English and then tell people what they're planning to do.
Oh, that's got to be fun.
Sure. Fun is a word we can use here. I really enjoy what I do.
We want to get, so Nick Schirripa is here. Again, he is a communications representative for MDOT, and he covers this region. Have you always covered Southwest Michigan?
Yes.
Okay.
Kalamazoo native and got lucky and fell into this job.
Nice.
112 years ago.
Wow.
I was thinking about it the other day.
That's a long time.
17 years.
Has it really?
17, yeah.
17 years working with MDOT.
Yep.
Okay. I bet you've seen some interesting things in that time. Do they get you out of the office much?
They try.
Okay.
They try. I've done, a few live shots with TV crews alongside I-94 at 5 a.m. in the snow.
Oh man.
I did that one time. I'm all set. We don't need to do it again. That's terrifying. I've been out enough to respect the men and women who work on roads.
Yeah.
And know that they are more than just good at what they do. They have lion hearts. They are the bravest people I know.
Yeah.
That takes a level of courage I do not possess.
They're brave. They put up with a lot of unwarranted criticism and drive-bys. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Some of them give their lives, which we're sad about. It's tragic when that happens. And so it's always, slow down around road crews.
Slow down around anything.
Yeah.
It's really hard unless you've been in the situation where something has happened in a split second. It's hard to understand how quickly things can happen, especially MDOT, right? We're talking about I-94, US 31, 196. I mean, people are going 70 miles an hour.
They're not. They're going faster than that.
Trying to be generous here.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take but the blink of an eye and something has gone wrong, right?
Yeah.
So until you've been in that situation, it's really hard to comprehend how quickly things can go wrong.
Yeah, but we do appreciate them, and especially when we're driving on smooth roads or clear roads. So does MDOT, how many plows do you guys have? You have a lot of plows, snow plows?
Statewide, we have about 300. In our 7-county region, we have 80, give or take. We have 65 snow routes.
Okay.
So we have 15 more trucks than snow routes, but there's a reason for that. If one breaks, we need to have one ready to go.
Yeah.
And they're not always all on the road, right? So we've got backups, we've got contingency plans. You
ever ridden in a snowplow?
Oh yeah, I've driven one.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, poorly. really, really poorly.
Do you ever scrape the blade on the road and sparks fly? I mean, is that a thing?
Well, sure.
I'm just curious because
we use belly blades.
What are belly blades?
So that's the blade that's essentially under the middle of the truck.
Oh yeah,
instead of the big plow,
like the excavator thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're not very tall, maybe 6 inches.
Yeah.
But I mean that's got the whole weight of the truck down on top of that blade.
Wow.
So which is the reason we use it.
Okay.
Instead of trying to push snow out front, we just use the weight of the truck to move it, and then the angle of the blade shoos it off to the corner, off to the shoulder. But when we get the road bare enough, you may see a spark or two for sure.
Okay, we're talking with Nick Schirripa, and hopefully we'll have sparks during this conversation about road stuff. Lots of road stuff to talk about. We've got I-94, we've got the Main Street project in St. Joseph. We've got my ongoing campaign for studs on snow tires. I want studs on snow tires. So we're here to grill Nick Schirripa about that. No, anyway. All right, we're going to have a good conversation. It's coming up after news and sports and weather right here on the WSJM Morning Show. Be right back.
47fastcash.com.
With our bad credit?
47fastcash.com can help any credit type get approved for up to $5,000 in minutes.
Take control and get the money you need at 47fastcash.com. 47fastcash.com.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:05, it's the WSJM Morning Show for your Wednesday morning. Welcome to midweek. It's February 25th. I'm Ken Lundberg. Thanks for joining us. We've got a quick check on the weather forecast, local news, and then we'll talk with our guest who's in studio this hour, Nick Schirripa with the Michigan Department of Transportation. Partly cloudy skies expected today, a high right around where it is right now, around 32, 33 degrees. Winds out of the west today, gusting up to 25 miles per hour. Forecast for tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low probably around 20 degrees. Northwest winds will be light. Thursday's forecast, partly cloudy, a chance of snow tomorrow, a high of 38. Friday has me in a good mood already because we're thinking mostly sunny skies and a high around 50 on Friday, and then we're going to cool off again for the weekend. Saturday, mostly cloudy, a chance of snow, a high around 40. Sunday, mostly cloudy, a chance of snow, a high around 33. More of that going on next week. It looks like Tuesday will probably get up to a high around 36 degrees, so don't expect big changes anytime soon, although Friday looking pretty good for a high of 50. All right, some of the news from the WSJM newsroom. The Berrien County Sheriff's Office warning residents once again about another phone scam involving callers claiming to be a law enforcement officer and threatening arrest over a missed federal subpoena. Authorities say the calls are fraudulent. They stress they will never demand payment over the phone for a warrant or otherwise, or request money through gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency. Michigan State Police, in addition, they report similar scams are happening and being reported to them, including up in Van Buren County, where a resident recently lost nearly $23,000 believing they were dealing with the FBI. Anyone who believes they've been targeted is urged to contact local law enforcement. And again, don't give out money or your personal information over the phone unless you're absolutely sure you know exactly who you're talking to. The city of St. Joseph, other news, the city of St. Joseph now has a paid harbor master. This week, the St. Joseph City Commission approved paying the city's harbor master, who has served without compensation since 2022. Assistant City Manager Tim Zebel said the current harbor master, Michael Moran, has handled a range of duties for the shipping community.
Tracking every commercial and governmental vessel arrival to our port and recording the tonnage of the material received, checking the harbor conditions before a vessel's arrival, coordinating dredging, providing public information about the harbor notices and bridge issues.
City Manager Emily Hackworth recommended a stipend. Commissioner Michael Fernandez agreed.
People deserve recognition for the quality of their work. And I, believe that he adds a lot of value based on what he does. And I'm glad that, we were able to find a way to, fairly reward and acknowledge, the value of the multitude of things that he does.
Under the resolution, Moran will receive about $5,000 a year. The vote to approve the stipend was unanimous. And St. Joseph commissioners have amended a license agreement with Harbor Shores to allow the Inn at Harbor Shores to use a riverfront parcel for public events. City Attorney Lori Schmidt said that the site had been reserved for a future boater services building.
It would be an enhancement to the space based on what's currently there. It would be a little more usable, a lot more attractive, and it'd still preserve their right to construct the boater services building in the future if they decide to do that.
In managing partner Brady Cohen said the grassy area could enhance event photos while long-term plans remain on hold.
I think some of our biggest complaints is obviously the beauty of the water, but what's behind it when you get married is some of the gravel piles. So what we're trying to do is position ourselves a little bit so that if we move to the right, it kind of looks right in between the bridges instead of having some of the rock piles in your pictures.
Commissioners approved the amendment with conditions requiring temporary event items be removed and public access maintained except during reserved ceremonies. And finally, area Congressman Tim Walberg wants to know how artificial intelligence is being used in elementary school classrooms. On Tuesday, Walberg led a hearing of the Early Childhood, Elementary, and Secondary Education Subcommittee, where a number of witnesses were called in to discuss the benefits and the challenges of using AI in the classroom.
We're taking AI seriously, whether we understand it or not. We need to know about it and know best practices.
Walberg said AI could help reduce teacher workload, but emphasized the need for proper training. Joining Walberg at that hearing, California Congressman Kevin Kiley, who said teachers report saving about 6 hours a week using AI, but stressed student use must remain ethical.
Students aren't just using these tools to get homework done faster, by the way. Excessive or irresponsible use of AI as a crutch threatens to replace critical thinking, especially when used outside of teacher supervision.
Lawmakers say the goal is to ensure educators have the tools and the guidance needed as the technology continues to evolve. That's a look at some of the local news that we're covering in the WSJM newsroom. We have more to talk about this hour. In fact, we have a special guest in studio this morning. Nick Schirripa is here. You might remember his name from news stories we've had regarding some of the road work going on that's being held and led by MDOT, Michigan Department of Transportation. So Nick Schirripa is here. We wanted to talk to him a little bit more about what MDOT is up to, some of the major projects, and what he does. Nick, you are a communications representative with MDOT for Southwest Michigan's region. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me. It's my pleasure.
The most important thing before we get into what MDOT is, what MDOT does, what your role is, and your background, we got to talk about the most important thing on the table right now: hockey.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. The when we were setting
the
up,
hour is officially gone. You've eaten it all.
When we set up this interview, you said, "Hey, by the way, I'm also involved in hockey." What do you do? You don't play anymore. You hung up your hockey stick and skates.
Yeah, I've been an official for 30 years. I'm celebrating my 30th season as an official, an honest official.
So you're a hockey official. You're like a ref.
I affectionately called a cross-dresser. I both referee and line, depending on the league or the conference. I do both jobs, but yeah.
Do you get roughed up as part of that? Does that happen?
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. Just a second ago, I turned my head to the right, funny, and noticed, my right shoulder hurts, and I don't know why that is. Yeah, I mean, we're in traffic. So
oh man,
we get hit by sticks and pucks and elbows and skates, and I've taken a skate blade to the throat. I've taken pucks to the face. Oh yeah, it happens.
That's a dangerous sport.
Yeah.
Well, so speaking of hockey, hockey's on the minds of everyone right now. In fact, President Trump at the State of the Union address last night brought in the men's hockey team.
Yep, he had half the gold medalists there.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Well, and because the women's hockey team, they said they had a prior commitment.
Yeah.
But they'll be joining him at the White House later. But you watched the contest, both the men's and women's. You say the women's was more exciting.
So I have a soft spot in my heart for women's hockey.
Yeah.
But yeah, the women have been around for a shorter span of time.
Yeah.
And they actually have as many gold medals, more medals than the men's team in that same period. So to me, women's hockey is the purest form of the sport right now. Men's hockey is fast, it's strong. If you look at the way hockey is taught to kids, that's how women play the game.
Fundamentals following?
The physicality has a purpose. It's not just I'm one of these, right? I'm one of the guys.
Yeah.
The physicality is more gratuitous, I think, in the men's game, and it's a different evolution of the sport, to be certain. And I'm not trying to castigate anybody, right? I'm not throwing shit on anybody's game. I love watching men's hockey.
Yeah.
But women's hockey is so amazing, exciting, and it's these women are good. They are really good at the game. I mean, the skill set they have rivals that of men. It's just a different look, right? It's a different mental approach. It's a different philosophy, but it's really exciting to watch.
I'll have to go back and watch that. I only caught the men's hockey match, the gold medal round. And to me, I was a little bit stunned. It didn't seem as physical as you would normally see maybe in an NHL game.
So that has changed over the years. Now that they use NHL players and professional players from around the world, these guys have leagues to get back to. They have big contracts they have to fulfill.
Yeah.
Right? The last thing they want to do is get hurt in a two-week Olympic tournament. So there is some of that kind of.
So you think they held back a little bit? Okay.
I think they changed the game a little bit. Again, they want to play. They're wearing their country on their chest, and they certainly want to win gold.
Yeah.
But they don't want to do so at the cost of their NHL contract or their day job, as it were.
Yeah.
Still really exciting hockey to watch. Really
the best thing is Nick's bosses at MDOT have probably tuned in to listen to, I wonder what he's going to say about the roads. and here we are. We're talking about hockey.
And they're all rolling their eyes because they'll ask me one question at a meeting and 2 hours later I'll conclude.
All right. Nick Schirripa, communications representative with MDOT for Southwest Michigan. Tell us a little bit about what does that role actually mean? What do you do?
Like you, I talk for a living.
Oh, good. Okay.
My job essentially is to translate what 250, 300 engineers in our region say into plain English, and then turn around and tell everybody what it is we're doing.
Okay.
And, the important things I think that we share with people isn't just what we're doing, it's how it impacts your daily life.
Yeah.
Your drive to work, school, church, Little League, whatever it may be, how that will be impacted and for how long.
Yeah.
We all know that little things can change plans very, very quickly. So that's kind of how I see my role.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, and the governor has made no secret. I mean, her tagline for her entire time of her administration has been "Got to fix the damn roads."
Sure.
Right. So
Sure.
so how does that play into what MDOT does?
Well, obviously, it leaves us with a little bit more work, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the last few years have been. We've had accelerated programs. We've had projects that have bumped up a few years. We've had projects added that weren't even on our radar.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. That's all right.
I got all excited.
No, that's okay.
So for me, I mean, practically for us, that just means a few more shovels in dirt, right?
Yeah.
But it's where we should have been all along. And now I'm gonna get all road nerdy.
That's okay.
But there's a lot of roads and there's a lot of work to be done. But we're one of 616 road agencies in the state.
616 different folks working on the roads. Yeah, because you think about it, you've got county, you've got local, you've got state.
Yep. So
616.
state, and then each county has one, and then all the cities and villages have their own. So
okay.
616 road agencies, and they all operate independently. So cities and counties don't answer to us. We are pass-through funding agency for some of them.
Okay.
Whether it's a grant or some kind of state transportation funding that gets passed through, Public Act 51 funding gets passed through our agency.
Okay.
But they are autonomous.
For us, we're going to see, we've seen, I love to affectionately call them the orange blossoms of spring road construction.
Yes. The state flower.
Yeah, the state flower, the road construction barrels. So we're going to see that on I-94. In fact, we're already seeing them. They're already starting to stage there. Is work starting this week or next week?
Yes.
I-94. Yeah.
The week of March 2, I think, is when you're going to see proper
the delays and such. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Nick Schirripa's background, how he got to be where he is right now, the 17 years he's been spending at MDOT, and the big project that's coming up starting next year, 2027, in St. Joseph, redoing the Main Street, because that's an MDOT road. And it's also our Main Street in St. Joseph. So we'll talk about those projects and more. It's all coming up right here. Plus my ongoing push for studs on winter snow tires. That's coming up here on WSJM. We'll continue the conversation on the video live stream now. Here on the radio, Sports with Dave Wolf.
Third ranked.
All right.
Well done.
When do you want to get it? We're here on the video live stream.
Oh boy.
Nick Schirripa is here, communications representative with MDOT. So let's learn a little bit about you. What's your origin story? Start at the beginning. Where were you born?
Yeah, born right here, Southwest Michigan. Born in Kalamazoo. Graduated from Plainville High School.
Yeah.
I'm a Western Michigan University graduate.
Okay.
Never left. I mean, I've visited a few places, but I married a South Portage girl.
Okay.
We've got two sons that graduated from Kalamazoo Central High School. So I mean, we are
nice
Kalamazoo folks.
Yeah.
I was in my early 20s before I figured out what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I say figured out loosely. I still have ideas.
Yeah. What were you doing before you figured it out?
A little bit of everything.
Okay.
I met my wife working for a bank. I'm an English major.
Wow.
Yeah. I got my degree in journalism from Western.
Oh, okay.
I was a newspaper reporter for about a decade.
Nice.
The last 6 or 7 years of my career was with Battle Creek Inquirer.
Okay.
And that's where I was, and actually working with a person who had this job before me. And
yeah.
She decided to move on. She asked me, "Hey, do you want my job?"
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Because you were asking insightful questions and you saw the future of the newspaper business. Questionable.
It was certainly changing.
Yeah.
During my tenure. It was going a direction I wasn't fond of. And it was kind of a mass exodus. I mean, I wasn't alone. There were a lot of us who left, and a lot of us left for PR, kind of the private side.
Yeah.
But this was an opportunity to do. I was a politics reporter.
Yeah.
So this was an opportunity to go into the den, right?
Yeah.
Into the wolf's den, the lion's den.
The dark side.
That's really how we looked at it as reporters, and it turns out it's the exact same job.
Yeah.
Just a different audience.
Yeah. So so we share similar backgrounds, because I started in radio journalism, broadcast journalism, and then I eventually got lured over to the dark side myself, working for elected officials, both Republicans and Democrats, as their mouthpiece, and then came back over to this side as well. And I think the varied job views that you have, the more experience you have in the different roles, gives you better insight, whether it's a journalism person or a communications person, talking to people who need to get from point A to point B.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you really do kind of tailor your message for your audience, right?
Yeah.
I made a conscious choice not to get into partisan politics.
Yeah.
I had a couple offers and it just didn't appeal to me.
I can't imagine why.
Well, the longevity.
Politics is so friendly these days,
it's
so civilized.
so congenial. But the longevity didn't feel like it was there. That felt like it hinged too much on political wins.
Oh, for sure.
This was a little bit more stable. At the time, I was making a choice for a family, not just for a career. So I landed here. And honestly, it's been an education.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've had both. I've worked for governors of both parties.
Yeah.
I've worked for administrations of both parties. And had a lot of fun learning from each of them. It's been an adventure.
Yeah. Okay. We're talking with Nick Schirripa. He's a communications representative for MDOT for our Southwest Michigan region. We're going to continue the conversation with him in just a moment. We'll get more of his origin story because I feel like he glossed over a lot of it. So we're going to go back and dig in. That's coming up right here. First off, we're going to get an update on the weather forecast from our friends at WSBT. This is the WSJM Morning Show.
And my blood pressure went down, and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Stop smoking. Lose weight now without cravings, irritability. Only $59.99 or your money back. Join Mark Patrick's seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. That's right. Weight loss hypnosis today at the Courtyard by Marriott in Benton Harbor. Time is 5:30 p.m. Registration begins at 5 p.m. Stop smoking hypnosis starts at 8 p.m. Registration starts 7:30 p.m.
Partly sunny skies today, breezy and cool. We're going to see temperatures hover in the upper 20s and low 30s all day. Tonight will drop down to 20 for the overnight low. And then for tomorrow, a mix of the sun and clouds, a few flurries possible. Afternoon highs get up around 38. We should see temperatures approaching near 50 degrees on Friday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
7:22 is the time. It's Wednesday, February 25th. I'm Ken Lundberg. See, we do the bumper music. Isn't that cool?
It is. I like it.
If you're watching on the video live stream, you're already getting treated to this. We're talking with our guest, Nick Schirripa, who's with MDOT, Michigan Department of Transportation. He is one of the spokespeople for MDOT, and he covers the Southwest Michigan region. You hear him on our news stories. I thought we'd bring him in and learn a little bit more about him, and then dive in on some transportation topics. Find out where the rubber hits the road, right?
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Literally, yes.
How many road puns do you have on a daily basis?
My favorite one is, the information I have isn't concrete.
Oh,
yeah, you're right. So I'll drop.
Man.
I like to bridge gaps.
Yeah. See, that's
going.
good.
Yeah, we can keep going.
The audience loves it. The audience loves it.
I'm going to apologize to your audience now because my voice is kind of gravelly.
Oh,
see?
Wow. That is good. That is good. Nick Schirripa is here. Let's talk big picture. MDOT, for those who might not be very knowledgeable about what MDOT is, the Michigan Department of Transportation. What's your mission? What's your role? What does MDOT do?
We are in charge of building and maintaining state highways, which is anything with an M, an I, or a U.S. designation.
Okay.
125,000, I'm using rough numbers here, 125,000 miles of public roadway in the state. We have we're about 9,500 miles.
9,500.
So
that's a lot of asphalt.
Less than 10%.
Yeah.
But our state trunk lines carry more than 50% of all traffic in the state.
What's a trunk line?
State highway.
Oh, okay.
An M and I or a U.S.
Trunk lines.
Sure, the trunk line.
That's a very fancy word. Okay. So you're in charge of not only fixing what's out there, but repaving, rebuilding, rethinking. And that's one of the projects we'll talk about here in a moment, is the Main Street project that's going to be happening in St. Joseph starting next year. But you've already been working the area, talking with local officials, trying to figure out what's going to be happening next. So we'll talk about that process in a moment. But let's go back to your background for just a moment. So you were a reporter. You were working in Battle Creek.
Yep.
You were covering politics.
Yep.
And then you got lured over to the dark side to work for the state government. I call it the dark side because I was a broadcast journalist before I went to work for elected officials.
Right.
And
any reporter knows it is in fact the dark side.
Yeah.
No, I don't need to tell any more of the story. You just nailed it. I mean, that's it. Okay. So the lady who had the job, that I have now before I did. She and I worked together for a few years.
Okay.
On some road projects and my reporting thereof. And she called me and said, "Hey, I'm moving on. Are you interested in my job?" And I don't really know why she picked me out of the crowd, but I'm forever
because she had another
grateful.
job to get to and she couldn't leave until she got somebody to replace her.
Potentially.
No.
But if you're listening, Julie Hurley, thank you. I will forever be grateful. But she asked me if I wanted it. And I said, well, let's talk a little bit more about it. And it was nothing but a phone conversation. And a few weeks later, I was interviewing. So here I am.
So based on kind of your conception, your preconceived notion of what the job would be and what it became, what it is, any surprises?
Yeah, that they let me do what I want.
What do you mean?
So there are 7 of me. There are actually 8 statewide. We have 7 regions. Our metro region has 2 of me, 2 communications reps, and every other region has 1.
Okay.
And we're all pretty unique, although most of us have very similar backgrounds. Well, we all come from media background.
Okay. Makes sense.
A couple TV, a few print, 1 radio. I mean, that's really where we come from.
Okay. Because you understand what we're looking for when we want to get information conveyed to the people.
Yeah. Communicating to a mass audience is kind of what we do, right?
Yeah.
So that's the background.
Okay.
But each region has its own personality, its own culture, and some are very, very diverse, right? So we're given quite a bit of freedom to work our regions in the best way that works for our regions. So there are, a few grand edicts that come from above, but we're allowed to execute those in ways that make the most sense for our region. So we get a lot of autonomy.
Okay.
A lot of leeway. They give us plenty of rope to hang ourselves. That's really what it boils down to.
And what do you do with that autonomy? I mean, it's basically an exercise in change management on a regular basis.
Yeah. So, wow, this is going to get into the weeds.
Yeah.
Every year about this time, I'm working with each of our 3 local offices, our TSCs.
Okay.
In the Coloma business office. I work with those offices, those staffs to develop a communications plan, and that's based on what their program is for the year.
Yeah.
What projects do we have coming up? What do we need to communicate on each of these, and how detailed do we need to be? How frequently are we getting out in front of things?
Yeah.
And then I spend the rest of the year executing it.
Okay.
With their support. Let me be very clear.
Yeah.
I don't know anything. They tell me everything, and then I just translate it.
They being the people who are responsible for executing the projects.
Our construction teams, our design teams, all our engineers, all our techs. I don't want to leave anybody out.
Yeah.
We have a pretty incredible team in our region. And it is upon their strong shoulders I stand. They really make my job work.
Okay. All right. We're talking with Nick Schirripa. He's communications with MDOT for the Southwest Michigan region. And we're talking about his background. We're talking about the MDOT, what it does. And also we'll talk about a couple of projects here. We should probably start talking about I-94. You want to give us what's happening? This is the 3rd year of a 3-year project. Hundreds of millions of dollars going into fixing up I-94 in our region. What are we expecting this year? What's going on?
We're going to finish it.
Yay.
How's that? Yeah. That's really anything more than that is just window dressing. So it's a 3-year. This is the 3rd year of a 3-year, $205 million project, depending on which press release of mine you read, because apparently I couldn't make up my mind. This year we're rebuilding eastbound I-94 between Britain and Washington Avenues.
Okay.
I don't know if I went the right direction there. We are doing eastbound, but I don't know which one comes first.
Okay.
We did westbound last year. And then 2 years ago in 24. Yep.
Yeah. The time is flying. Yeah.
In 24, we did kind of the area around the Stevensville exit.
The bridge. Yeah.
Red Arrow Highway exit.
Did the bridge there.
Yep.
Big replacement.
Did a big realignment of the interchange. And so that was 24. 25, we did westbound. And then this year we're doing the eastbound side.
Yeah.
But we're not going to tell you what we're doing next year yet.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, no. You don't get to know because I don't know. It's not that it's no big secret. So, I mean, this is year 6 consecutive of big I-94 work in Berrien County. We go back to the previous 3 years. It was the US 31 completion.
Oh, that's right. I remember that where you're taking big chunks of 31 out. And if you ran into one of those, you'd drop it like 3 feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wreck your axles and stuff like that.
Don't want to do that.
No. So the project is really, we've got the orange blossoms of road construction already staging.
Yep.
And then next week, some of the traffic shifts, realignments will start to happen.
Yep. So, oh boy.
Yeah.
Notes are disappearing as I'm talking.
You don't need notes. These are all committed to memory.
Yeah,
this is all
right,
good stuff.
Right. We have a $150 million program. I know everything by heart. So we're coming up to the week of March 1, right? That first full week of March.
Yep.
We're going to have the leftbound lane of eastbound closed.
Okay.
For construction activity. So staging, getting ready to do that traffic switch, right? We've got to switch all the eastbound traffic over to the westbound side.
Oh boy.
And then start rebuilding. And that isn't something that happens overnight. It takes a little bit of time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
weather depending as well, I would imagine.
It is. Our contractors are really good about knowing what they can pull off in kind of that late winter, early spring weather.
Okay.
To make sure they're not losing time.
Oh, good.
We have some great contractors who really do amazing work. So it's important that I give them credit where credit's due. They do a lot of the hard stuff. I think the biggest piece, eastbound being closed is one thing. People are going to shift over on westbound and we're going to go and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everything's fine. The biggest piece of that are the ramp closures and detours.
Right.
Obviously, we're going to have eastbound ramps that have to be closed. There's no highway to connect them to.
Yeah.
Niles Avenue, M139, Pipestone Road, both northbound and southbound. We're rebuilding that whole interchange. So that's a big one. That bridge is going to come out at some point in the future.
Yeah.
Rebuild that. And then the eastbound exit ramp, when I took this morning to Napier Avenue.
Yeah.
That one will be closed. So there will be some ramp closures. We'll tell everybody kind of what's happening as it happens. Obviously, this is several phases and stages that are going to occur. But I want to direct everybody to our My Drive interactive map.
Oh, where is that?
Michigan.gov/drive.
Michigan.gov/drive.
Yep.
And that gives them the My Drive interactive map. And what do you learn there?
Yep. Everything.
Okay.
There are several layers to the map, but all of our active construction is on that map.
Okay.
So you'll be able to see what's open, what's closed, and not just this project. This is statewide.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go up north and go hunting, check My Drive. You will see every project that's active along the way on your route, and you can plan accordingly. So that's where our snow plows are. We have a snow plow layer.
I love that.
When our plows are out and active, that's where it is. There's a speed layer, so you can kind of see if there's slowdowns anywhere.
Okay.
All of our digital message signs are on that map, so you can look at those.
Yeah, see what's happening.
And our cameras, all of our traffic cams are on that, so you can take a look at traffic cams. So there really are a lot of layers that you can piece together as much information as possible about your travels before you get on the road.
Okay, but be on alert that starting next week, the construction begins and some of the shifts, you'll notice some changes. I-94 in our area will undergo some transformation, and we'll give you updates as we get them from Nick Schirripa, who's our guest this morning here on the WSJM Morning Show. We'll continue the conversation on the video live stream right now. Here on the radio, we've got a couple of important messages, and then we'll get financial news from our friends at Bloomberg. It's coming up right here. Okay, still on the video live stream.
Excellent.
Good? Are we doing all right?
I feel great. How do you feel?
I feel good.
You look amazing.
It's Wednesday. You look marvelous. No, it's good. Yeah, it's
listeners of a certain age will remember that.
So let's see. You brought up a lot of different things here. So
I do that.
The My Drive.
Yep.
I love that.
We love that map. So it's our clearinghouse, right? If you want to know what's going on, go to My Drive. That is a great first place to start.
So you've been with MDOT for 17 years. My Drive didn't exist.
No.
When you started.
Correct.
How did it come to be? How many meetings did you guys, the communicators, have to scream and shout and say, can't we just have one central repository for all of our information?
You know, that's a great question. The honest answer is we weren't involved.
Oh, wow.
This was a kind of a high level, almost legislative kind of thing.
Lawmakers got ticked off.
Well, not having a central location for information.
Yeah.
That really is a big, we have the internet at our fingertips, right? I mean, we carry supercomputers in our pockets.
Yeah.
The idea that you can't go to a website and figure out what's going on is kind of insane.
Right.
So that's where the idea came from.
Okay. And they gave you the money to create it.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So we actually work in partnership with several states. There are a couple other sites that My Drive feeds into.
Oh.
There's a Great Lakes Consortium. So it's Wisconsin, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan are kind of in a group there.
All right.
Excuse me. So yeah, we are one of many. A lot of states have something very, very similar.
Yeah.
And they all started around the same time. But yeah, it is a wonderful tool. I don't feed into it much. We've gotten kind of to the point where it's more back end. As each of our offices comes up with construction projects, it's a form they fill out, they send it in, and there's a couple of people who just plug that all into the website.
Oh.
Or double check it to make sure it's right before they hit go live. So
okay.
There are lots of people who feed into that, and they all kind of do it through the same mechanism. So there's some continuity there and consistency. But yeah, so construction projects, any crash that's reported to us on our trunk line goes on there. It is a fantastic. I use it 1,000 times a day when people ask me questions because I don't know everything.
Now, you primarily interact with members of the media. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever get an opportunity to interact with the public hearings and such?
Daily, yeah.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I've got one this evening.
What's coming up this evening?
Kalamazoo, we have an open house for an additional auxiliary lane we're adding to US 131 between on northbound 131 between I-94 and Stadium Drive.
Wow.
Yeah, it sounds like an awful lot. We're adding a third lane.
But people care about that. I mean, if it's their thing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And we had the I'm sure you remember the situation in Niles not too long ago where you changed it into what did you call it, a Michigan left turn lane on 12?
The indirect lefts, yeah. It's an at-grade intersection with indirect lefts.
You got rid of a bridge.
Yeah,
and
it's a four-way with
how has that worked out?
Fabulously. Thank you. Yeah. Look, it's a change, right? When that overpass was built 60 years ago, US 12 was an interstate. It was the freeway. It was I-94 of the time.
Wow.
And it made sense to have that grade separated interchange with all the loop ramps and the whatnot.
Yeah.
Obviously, I-94 got built after that. And here we are with a serious decrease, not just in traffic volumes, but traffic types.
Okay.
A lot of the commercial traffic diverted to I-94, or if it was heading further east, they went down to 80-90 in Indiana and Ohio.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a need for something that big. That's a lot of infrastructure in one spot. People got used to it, as you do.
Yeah.
It was there for a half a century. But it also cost money, a lot of money, to maintain and rebuild bridges versus an at-grade intersection, two roads. So there was the determination.
Hold that thought. We'll be right back in just a couple of moments. We're talking with Nick Schirripa from MDOT. This is the WSJM Morning Show.
Rates have slipped to the lowest level since 2022. According to the Mortgage Bankers Association, the rate on a 30-year loan is at 6.09%. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
It's 7:38, 22 minutes before 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, we'll have the latest world and national news from our friends at ABC, and then our local news from the WSJM newsroom. Right now outside in Benton Harbor, it's 33 degrees. We've got some clouds. We've got a little bit of wind out there. St. Joseph, 33 degrees and windy conditions as well. South Haven, it's 33 with clouds and wind. The feels like temperature this morning, you're still going to want the lighter, medium to heavy coat because it feels like 15. We don't have much in the way of precipitation forecast for today, just partly cloudy skies, a high right around where we are right now, 33, 35 degrees maybe. The wind out of the west gusting into 25 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast, partly cloudy, a low of 20. Thursday, partly cloudy tomorrow, and a 20% chance of snow with a high of 38 degrees. The best news of the week is the warm temperatures we should be feeling on Friday. The Friday forecast calls for mostly sunny skies and a high around 50 degrees. Yeah, so that'll melt stuff again before we freeze it all over the weekend and get a slight chance of snowfall again. All right, 7:39. We'll continue our interview with Nick Schirripa here. He's here from MDOT in just a couple of moments. Right now, we've got to get some world and national news from ABC. Our local news preview coming up next.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump declaring the State of the Union is strong and touting what he calls a golden age for the country. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers watched the record-breaking speech that lasted 1 hour and 48 minutes.
A majority of Americans don't like what he's doing on all the key issues right now: inflation, tariffs, immigration, the economy. So his job last night was to go into that room. Obviously, he's talking to the lawmakers in front of him, but his job was to talk to people at home, to say things are going well. and I'm working to make them better.
The president also promising Iran won't build a nuclear weapon. House Democrats now accusing the Justice Department of withholding dozens of pages of the Epstein files they say they contain allegations against President Trump. 20-year-old who accuses social media networks of creating platforms that got her addicted, expected to take the stand today. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
740, it's the WSJM Morning Show. Some of the local news coming up just after 8 o'clock. Reaction from our area federal lawmakers about President Donald Trump's State of the Union address delivered last night. We caught up with area Congressman Tim Walberg. Not at the State of the Union address last night, Senator Gary Peters and Congresswoman Debbie Dingell. Other news, Area Economic Development Group Cornerstone Alliance says the selection of its Lake Michigan Industrial Park for Indiana Michigan Power's Future Ready Sites Accelerator program could boost some development prospects. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And the first meeting of a commission studying possible disincorporation of the village of Baroda has been set. It's coming up in March. We'll tell you when, where, and why. That's all coming up in the news at 8 o'clock. It's 7:41. We've got sports coming up from Dave Wolf in just a couple of moments. First off, we'll check in on state news on the video live stream. We're continuing our conversation with Nick Schirripa from MDOT.
The Michigan.
Okay, back on the video live stream.
It's a lot of pressure, by the way.
Which part?
The part that I'm always on camera.
Yes, the camera is on.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
It never blinks. Tell us a little bit about the St. Joseph Main Street project. What? Let's start off with timing. Well, let's start off with what it is, and then we'll go into timing.
All fair things. Let's start off with what it is. We are rebuilding a segment of Main Street, M63 through St. Joe.
Yeah.
Just a few blocks. It's not like miles and miles.
Yeah,
Just a few
it's
blocks.
the heart of downtown
But
St. Joe.
That is it.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows Port Street and Ship Street,
yep,
those are going to become two-way. We're going to change that up a little bit just for fun. And we're doing that with the city's blessing. Obviously, we've worked very closely with the city in designing this project. Our project team is incredible. We've had so many public meetings and so many engagement opportunities, not just with the public, but with city leaders, city officials, businesses. I mean,
and county as well.
Absolutely.
Because we've got some county assets there. And I know they were asking about the jail. They were asking about some of the law enforcement parking there and
Access
everything.
there, sure.
Everyone happy right now?
And so this is
You're still having conversations.
We are, and this is the hard part, right? You can't make everybody happy all the time.
Yeah.
It's impossible. So we're trying to get everybody to the happiest possible level across the board.
Yeah.
Knowing that nobody's getting 100% of what they want. That's just not even us. That's just kind of how compromise works, right? That's what adults do in a professional setting.
And for those who aren't up to speed on it, I mean, talk about what are some of the issues? I mean, basically, you've got a road and you've got a mission of keeping that road up to date.
Yeah. Okay, let's big philosophical things, right? Roads are old. They're not new.
Yeah.
Communities change. Things evolve.
Yeah.
Roads don't. Right? They kind of stay what they were when they were first envisioned and first built. And the community will change around that road. Well, the needs change. The uses change. Communities change and evolve. So we have to, on occasion, update the purpose or the role a road will play in a community.
Yeah.
This is one of those. This is a generational project. It really is. We don't get these very often. For us, we work a lot with I-94, right? There's nothing unique about it. It's a highway. We try to keep it as nice as we can.
Yeah.
For as long as we can, but it does the same thing every time. Interchanges are a little special there, right? Sometimes an interchange needs to be altered to meet current demands, but this is a main street. I mean, this is literally in people's front yards. Business access is feet away. So this is a big deal for us. We don't get these very often.
Yeah.
And this is an opportunity for us not just to go in and replace pavement, but to make this road what the community wants to see.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a big deal for us, and we're excited to do it.
So how does MDOT approach a project of this nature where it is our main street?
Right.
And to me, I mean, MDOT, you don't have to do this, but you want to work with us. Number one, so you don't get a bunch of elected officials mad at you. But at the same time, this, as you mentioned, the role of a road changes.
Sure.
And to make it fit in with the community, and it also speaks to safety as well. So how do you approach?
Yeah, there are a couple things here. I think it's important to point out that MDOT engineers aren't in an ivory tower somewhere.
Yeah.
We're talking about men and women who live and work in these communities, who have children who go to those schools and they frequent those businesses and drive these streets themselves. I mean, these are their communities too. So they have some local context. They have some personal understanding of how these roads work. They also have a very intelligent, educated, professional view of how they can work and should work and how to design them. So they go in with, okay, we know we need to replace or rebuild this stretch of road.
Yeah.
Here's our wish list. If we could redo anything or do it, you envision it in any way we want, this is kind of what we see. Okay, now who is this impacting? And we need to get those folks at the table and get their ideas. So it really is, it starts with just throwing wet spaghetti at a wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
And then from there, let's work out the details. Well, if we want to do this, if we want to do X, we have to do Y. If we want to do A, B, and C, we have to make sure we do L, M, and N, right? I mean, there's a checklist of things that have to happen.
Yeah.
And once they get those all sorted, now we have the beginnings of a plan, and then we run that through a really, really fine tooth comb, a really, really fine sieve to see what shakes out and come up with a refined final plan.
Yeah, and part of that planning, correct me if I'm wrong, is you already went out to the public with a survey.
Yep.
And I think you were surprised by the number of responses that came back in.
Not even a little.
You were very surprised.
Yeah, it was amazing, the response we got. And it wasn't just the number.
Yeah.
There were folks that had very detailed, very insightful
Well, we're a
responses.
community of engineers.
Facts, and you let us know. But it was incredibly helpful because that really honed that edge as we went into parse these ideas and kind of figure out what we could and couldn't do and what the community wanted to see. And that's the big piece, right? We know what we can and can't do in terms of design and engineering, all that stuff, but it's what the community wanted to see that was really the missing piece of that puzzle. And that survey was huge. And then we've had a few public meetings where every meeting it's a little bit more, the plan is a little bit more refined.
Yeah.
Okay, you said you wanted this, so this next meeting we're going to incorporate that to the best of our ability. And this goes right down to sidewalk locations and where we have crosswalks and where you can and can't turn left off of Main Street.
Yeah.
I mean, really, really detailed level things that, and that's one of those conversations with the county that ultimately led to a potential change in where we can and can't turn left there because they wanted access to the jail from a certain road, not, this road, not that road. And it made a difference in their workflow, which public safety is a pretty important workflow, right? So we wanted to work with them as best we could. And that's kind of how we got where we are now, which is, I'm going to put a percentage on this and immediately get a phone call from the engineer, the design engineer. I'm going to say we're 75, 80% complete.
Okay,
We're
toward
almost
design.
to that final design, yeah.
Okay, stand by. We're going to continue that conversation piece with Nick Schirripa. He's from MDOT, and we're talking about some of the big projects coming to our area. In just a moment, we'll return on WSJM.
30s all day. Tonight we'll drop down to 20 for the overnight low. And then for tomorrow, a mix of the sun and clouds, a few flurries possible. Afternoon highs get up around 38. We should see temperatures approaching near 50 degrees on Friday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
7:48, just 12 minutes before 8 o'clock. We're talking with our special guest in studio this morning, Nick Schirripa. He's a communications representative with the Michigan Department of Transportation, MDOT, for our region of Southwest Michigan. Let's make this part of our Moody on the Market update, which is brought to you this hour by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today. They are your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. And if you were on the video live stream just a moment ago, we were talking with Nick about one of the big projects for our area, rebuilding Main Street in downtown St. Joe. And MDOT owns that road. So they're gonna, what are you gonna do? You gonna gold bricks? What can we make that road? What do people want to see? Pavement. All right, fine. Glow in the dark stripes. Do we get glow in the dark stripes?
The number of things people find on the internet, and they're always out of somewhere in Scandinavia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do some crazy stuff.
No, we're talking about
not
the
yet.
yeah. So the
reflective, reflective stripes. Does that count?
Yeah, I like the reflective stripes.
Okay.
I like them bright, and I mean, I just don't like it when they disappear in the rain. Hello, Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Those S curves. What in the world with the S curves? Why so tight at such high rates of speed up there?
That's evolution. That's so fun conversation that's being had in Grand Rapids. And
Yeah.
I'm not at the table, so this is really shooting from the hip. But there are discussions about turning 131 through the city to a boulevard instead of a grade separated freeway.
Wow.
The business community loves the idea of making 131 at grade boulevard.
Wow.
So
what does that do for getting through the city?
Good luck.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It would certainly slow it down, right? Obviously, you're not going 70 anymore. You'd be going 35, 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But there wouldn't be it wouldn't be the spaghetti bowl.
But you can get a beltway, right? Make a big old beltway.
So it would essentially be from where M6 connects at the south edge of Grand Rapids to 196.
Wow.
196, the north end.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Enough about Grand Rapids.
That's enough. We don't like Grand
we'll
Rapids.
complain about that more in a moment. But no, let's talk about St. Joe. So what is the status of that project? Again, the St. Joe Main Street project. I know that you and others with MDOT have already been in our community taking input, public input, showing some plans. And I think you said on the video live stream, maybe we're 75, 80% there on the design, but not quite there yet.
Yeah, that feels about right. We've got another couple of public engagement opportunities coming up this year. At least one, but I want to say two. So folks can get a look at those plans. We can further refine them. Obviously, we're not done refining them, not just from public input, but there are factors that have yet to be determined, like the cost of concrete.
Right.
So we're a ways away from having a contract ready to be let for bid. But we're getting closer.
Okay, so once we get a design and once you and get contracts signed and everything else, then you're going to begin the construction. So what is staging? Because this is our downtown. I mean, this is where the economy flows through. What does the staging look like for that construction?
Consult the map. So this is very much fall of 27 to fall of 28 kind of project. So we'll be working late in 27 is when we'll start in 2027. We'll do some stuff through the winter, and then spring of 2028, it's when it really gets hot and heavy. We complete it that year.
Okay.
So,
trying to work as fast as possible, because you put the option on the table for a lot of the local voices of, do you want this to stretch over 2 year and do a lot of different things, or do you want to do it all in one big fell swoop?
Yeah. So, I mean, it would be more convenient for local traffic to do it over 2 years and have shorter term closures or longer term closures of smaller areas that didn't involve huge detours, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll do it in a year, or we have to close things for a longer period of time and have detours in place, which means we're putting a lot of traffic on other roads that weren't intended to take that much traffic.
Yeah.
But it's only for a little bit of time.
Okay.
And the community overwhelmingly said, let's do it in a year.
Yeah.
Let's do the 1 year kind of condensed.
Get the shot, take the vaccine, make it all good, and as soon as you can.
Yeah. That really is it. Get in, get done, and get out.
Okay.
We'll start in the fall of 27 with the rebuild of Ship Street, Port Street. So Ship Street will become a two-way street instead of being just the westbound street. And obviously that requires some work with other local streets and making that all work together.
Yeah.
Then we go late fall of 2027 and into the winter. We'll be doing the northernmost stretch of M63 up by the Blossom Land Bridge, just south of the Blossom Land Bridge.
Yeah.
And then it moves south from there in chunks. The full winter of 27, it's that next stretch just south of Ship Street.
Okay.
And then we go into the spring where we'll be between Elm Street and Prince Street. And then in early spring and into the fall of 2028, it's that segment of Prince Street that goes down to Central or from Prince Street to Central Avenue by the split. And then we'll end with the two-way conversion south of that fork.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it starts up by the bridge and then moves its way south.
Okay. And this is a once-in-a-generation project.
It really is.
And so it's not going to look like it does today. As you mentioned, there will be some traffic shifts, but the road itself, it's not going to be not pretty. This will be our main street.
It's going to be gorgeous.
Okay.
It's really going to be pretty. I mean, we're not just talking about rebuilding a road, right? There's always some beautification that comes with it when we're working in a town on Main Street like this. And the great part of this is St. Joe, the leaders, the people, the business owners have told us what they want us to look like when it's all done.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that. A lot of these things on the wish list we can grant. So it'll be, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful things we've done in recent memory.
Awesome. We're talking with Nick Schirripa, communications representative for MDOT for Southwest Michigan's region. And we will certainly have him in to talk more about that project as it comes closer to construction and fruition. But right now, we're going to take a quick break. That's been our Moody on the Market update for this hour. It's brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. Here on the video live stream, I'm going to make my argument for studs on winter tires. We'll be right back.
Insurance Management Service.
All right, studs on winter tires. What's wrong with them? And don't tell me that it ruins the roads, because our roads are already like popping with potholes.
Yeah.
Not yours.
No.
Others.
No. Yeah.
Wink. Okay.
wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Look, Bob's your uncle. I would argue that there already are studs on tires. I mean, every time I drive on tires, a stud on tires.
Oh my gosh, that was
waiting.
so bad.
I've been waiting.
That was really good.
That's a terrible dad joke.
No, that was really good.
It's the same thing with chains, with tire chains.
Yeah.
It absolutely destroys the road. It's a cheese grater. It exacerbates every problem.
Technology evolves.
It does.
The materials involved.
They do.
There are other roads. I was raised in Washington State, where they allow studs on tires from November to April every year, they have beautiful roads.
Yeah, let's talk about road funding in the state of Washington. Right? I mean, this is an unfortunate truth.
Yeah.
We are the lowest per capita road funding in the Great Lakes region. We get half the per capita funding that Indiana has.
Yikes! Half?
Yeah.
Wow.
Roads in Indiana are so much better.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
And I am not advocating one way or another, right? That is for.
So you're with me on the studs?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think studs, tire chains, dirt roads. Let's make it happen. It really is a matter of what priorities are and what people are willing to pay for.
Yeah. Yeah. The one thing I think about is safety. I mean, because you can't see black ice.
True.
You know, if there's a snowfall and you get the slippery roads. I mean, again, you're talking about safety. We see on 94 many times this winter included. Just was it 2 days ago? 94 shut down because somebody driving way too fast and they lost traction. Can we adjust the behavior of them driving too fast? Apparently not, because people are silly.
Well, so this is one of the most difficult parts of what MDOT does, of what any road, not just MDOT, what any road agency does. We design roads for a given speed.
Yeah.
And then we kind of hand the responsibility over to drivers to be responsible. Look, none of us wants government to come in and tell us how to drive our car.
Right.
Right. None of us want that.
Yeah.
We are Michigan. We are the world's home of the automobile.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're where that came from.
Yeah.
And we're the last people to want to take that freedom away.
Yeah.
I love driving everywhere. I really do. I'm going to harken back very quickly. As a hockey official, we are offered opportunities to be flown to some games or series.
Yeah.
Whether it's by a college or team, doesn't matter, but because it's far enough away. And I will always turn down the flight because I love to drive.
Wow.
Absolutely love
MDOT spokesperson. That's awesome.
Well, just something about driving.
20 seconds. So we've got to get back on the air.
Okay.
We'll conclude. I have a quick 40-second question of what you do in your spare time. So we'll talk about that in just. We already know the hockey, so you can't use that one. We'll talk about other stuff here in just a moment on the WSJM Morning Show.
From the Pat Moody Studios, this is WSJM FM Benton Harbor, St. Joseph, a product of Midwest Family Marketing and Media. Proudly serving our community. The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
Okay, we've got 40 seconds. Nick Schirripa, thanks for joining us this morning. What do you do in your spare time when you're not roading or hockeying?
I fish. I golf. I have a group of friends that is my chosen family that we spend a lot of time together. I honestly love sitting on the couch with my wife and scrolling through TikToks together. That sounds silly, but that's the only social media in which I indulge. I'm not on any other social media platform.
Okay.
We have 2 dogs we love, and we play with those crazy nuts. Again, 2 beautiful sons, 2 amazing daughters-in-law. So lots of things that occupy my time and attention.
That is awesome. Well, thank you for spending some of your time with us this morning. We appreciate you.
It has been my pleasure.
Nick Schirripa with MDOT. We'll be back. We've got news now from ABC. It's 8 o'clock.
ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston.